Case Not here, and we're talking with words with Tim Sinnaeve of Barco Projection Systems. Tim, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us what's new with Barco.
Well, I guess Barco Residential is still fairly new ourselves. So there's a lot of things that we're doing. Maybe I can tell you a little bit of why we're here to begin with. I guess we believe that there's a huge opportunity in the CDA channel or in the custom integration channel. We believe it's probably not being fully addressed at this point in time. And the way we tend to look at it is that there's a lot of high net worth people in the world that can afford the kind of experiences that this channel can offer. And I think we're not necessarily addressing that. And I think part of that is probably that we tend to be too product focused versus focusing on an experience or an amazing experience that we can bring to people. So that's what we are focusing on. And of course, our main focus is image and image quality and creating a digital canvas, if you will. Projection is a big part of it, but in that sense, even though it is our job to create the best projectors in the world, at the end of the day, they're there to create an amazing experience for our customers, and that's why we're creating them, not for the pleasure of owning a projector.
Let's talk about some of the products that create those great experiences. What are some of the highlight products you've got?
Well, we have a fairly, it's high-end of course for us, and we have a fairly wide range. At the top of the line you would have our Thor, which is a 6P RGB laser projector, which is a $350,000 projector, so it's really up there at the ultra high-end, but it then also provides that unmatched experience, the best experience on the planet in my opinion. And there are people out there that are customers for this type of application, but of course we also take those technologies and bring them down to a different level. So if you look at between the 25,000 level is about where we start, but even at that level today you can have 4K, you can have laser, you can have really high light output, 5,000 lumens and more. So I think with that sense we are bringing a new level of performance to that category, which then in turn makes a different kind of experience possible.
It's great to serve kind of all the potential market categories within the projection market. Tell us a little bit about this partnership that you have developed with Meridian and some other companies.
Well, since we really wanted to focus on the experience, it's like we'd been to places and we look around, and projector manufacturers, which is I guess the box that we're in, tend to focus on the projector and the image. So even if you go to a trade show or something like that, you might see projectors on pedestals throwing an image onto a screen. Since we are so focused on the experience, it's really like, it's not about us, it's about the experience. So if you can give the customer an amazing experience, everybody will win. But we can't create that experience by ourselves. So we need amazing sound. Like even our own people would say, hey, we're the image guys. So if the image is fantastic, that's what we do, that's what's great. Where in my opinion, it's, if you have a great image, but the sound is mediocre, the whole experience gets degraded. So if the sound is not fantastic, then the image doesn't look quite as good as well. So we're striving to create that full experience, and that's why we are partnering with companies like Meridian that provide the other elements of that experience. So we try and seek out companies that have the same ambitions, that want to play at that same level, and that are committed to creating that experience.
It makes it easier for the integrator to just buy it all together like that.
I think it makes it easier for the integrator, but it's also something where from a marketing perspective, for example, it's also much more compelling for the end customer and for the end user, because at the end of the day, our customers want to be inspired. So if I look at if I read a magazine, for example, maybe you and I can get excited about the projector and the different specs, but that's almost like if I were buying a house, I'm not inspired by a magazine that talks about new types of bricks and a new type of metal that is being used for the roofing. I'm excited if I thumb through Architectural Digest, for example, and I see an amazing house, I see amazing design, it inspires me, and I think I would really like to have that type of house, or that's something that I'd really like to do. And then I'm going to go seek out, how do I get that, where do I go? And I think that's what we need to do as an industry as well. I would be far more inspired by being in an amazing home theater, having an amazing image, having amazing sound, but also content. I think content is another one of those things that's highly undervalued. We tend to do a demo, we take a movie or we take a piece of music that we think will demo our equipment well, which maybe to someone that's interested in it can appeal on a cerebral level. You can go like, yeah, you know, in my brain I know that this sounds good, but is this the music that I care about? Is this a movie that I care about? So if you can do a demo to someone and say, look, I'll make you hear your favorite piece of music, or you can choose the music, or your favorite movie from your childhood, but seeing it as you never see it before, that's how you create an emotional connection. If you create that emotional connection, then someone says, this is an amazing experience, I have to have it, can I afford it? That's the question. As long as it stays on a cerebral level, you basically go, is this a wise investment? But that's not what we're talking about. Is this an amazing experience? Do I want it? And then the only other question really should be, can I afford this? Right?
The art of the demo is such a key to getting their customer engaged with this type of equipment.
It absolutely is, and I don't think we're doing a very good job of demoing. We're doing, technically speaking, we might be doing a good job of demoing, but in terms of experience, emotion, compelling the customer to actually say, you know what, I really want this. We're not very good at that, I don't think, as an industry.
Last question, there's been some buzz. You guys have done some really unique things in the area of new media art. Tell us about that.
That's right, and that really fits into what I was talking about with the experience, because as we were trying to kind of construct all these different blocks as to what really constitutes that experience, and then around those blocks try to partner with different people that we felt we could collaborate with, we came across media art, especially from the idea when you start thinking about all of this, not as, oh, this is a home theater, this is a media room, but you start thinking of, we're creating architecturally customized digital canvases in a home, you're starting to think, actually, we could have other types of experiences with this. And so art was one of those, and then when we started looking into it, it became clear that that world is missing something that we can offer if we do it in the right way. And it's also something that our target customers are extremely interested in. So, you know, you look at it and, you know, high net worth individuals spend more money on art than they do on cars. You know, the only thing they spend more money on is private jets and huge yachts, which, you know, the sheer cost of it, of course, is the case. So it's an amazing opportunity in itself, but it's also an amazing opportunity for our industry to connect with our target audience and show the kind of experiences that we can create, because in 95% of the cases we're offering maybe 20% at best of what we could be offering, and so I think that's what we need to do. We need people like us to provide the technology that can create those amazing experiences, but we also need the integration channel to be able to put those experiences together, but also sell it effectively to these people. And ideally it should be a case where it's not really selling, it's bringing them in an environment where they can have the right experience, and then the sale should be almost an automatic byproduct of that, as long as we've determined that we're talking to the right people that can afford these types of experiences.
Well, a lot really good stuff going on with Barco Residential. Sinnaeve, thanks for joining us today on Talking with Words.
Thank you for having me.